Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Professor Layton, the Curious Village. We are climbing the tower. We got through some floors yesterday. Today, hopefully, we'll get through some floors. I don't remember exactly how many floors there are in total, but we gotta do this here. I always like these outside shots, where they show the sprites from these people. Why did I call them these people? Where they show like Luke and Layton's sprites from really far away. Just like I thought. There's another puzzle locking this door. It looks really difficult, Professor. Luke, my boy, haven't you learned by now? No puzzle is without an answer. Now we simply need to find that answer. Here, allow me. Is it gonna be another sliding puzzle? 99, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 70 pick rats. Use each of the numbers 1 through 9 exactly once to complete this equation. Alright, so first slot, this either has to be a 3 or 4 and then gets rounded out. I generally don't know how to approach this one other than just like trial and error. Alright, I think that works here. It's just a matter of just shuffling things around until you get somewhere. Alright, cool. Not much commentary I could add to that one. But we did make it in time. Yeah, and you can swap the last 2 digits around, so that's cool. And get an ominous door open. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read that line. Professor, I was just thinking, do you remember that picture we found in Lady Dahlia's room? One of the Baron's late wife holding a violet who appears to be the young Flora. Holding a child who appears to be young Flora, of course. That's the one. It's uncanny how much Lady Violet looked like Lady Dahlia, because Lady Dahlia was built in Lady Violet's image, I'm guessing? Do you suppose Baron Reinhold's journal entries are talking about Lady Dahlia? Sharp thinking, my boy. I believe it went something like this. The craftsmanship of it is simply remarkable. It reminds me of my sweet Violet when she was alive. I don't know if I like the implications of that, but that's the one that tipped me off. Professor, do you suppose Lady Dahlia is actually a robot built to resemble Lady Violet? It's entirely possible, maybe even probable given the circumstances. But if so, what a terribly sad story these entries tell. Do you remember what the next entry said? Flora doesn't like the thing at all. I've seen her run away from it on multiple occasions. Recently, she spends more time playing by dear Violet's grave than anywhere else. I'm sad to say, but I doubt Flora will ever take to it. I can't blame her, as I've changed its memory. I felt terrible for forcing that change on Flora, but I just couldn't bear to see it like that anymore. Violet, there can never be another you. You are my first, my last, and my only. The Baron arranged for the construction of a robot for Flora that is identical to his late wife. I like how she's the same height as Matthew, despite being an infant. But living with a machine that was so similar to his wife must have been too much for him. Thus he decided to change the robot's personality, and so Lady Dahlia was created. She was originally created as a mother figure. She must have gone through a confusing transition. Professor, do you suppose these robots feel sadness? Honestly, I'm not quite sure. I have a feeling that each of these robots has something not unlike a human heart. What do you think? I hope that they do. Okay, nice little depressing end to that. That's Lady Dahlia. We just have golden apple and the noise left. Alright, cool. There's just more puzzles. I mean, I don't know what else you'd expect at this point. What do you got for us? Do you suppose we're near the top yet? Yes, but it seems we have another puzzle in the way before we get there. We sure do. 107 squares, 70 picarats. The task is to draw lines between the pins on the board to form 7 squares. The 7 squares do not have to be uniform in size, but you can only use each pin once. Alrighty then, give it a shot. Sure thing. Okay. So something naive like this isn't going to... Like, to be clear, how many pins do we have? 5, 6 is 11, 16, 21, 25, 28. So every pin does have to be used. So if we start with the ones that are harder to, like, geometrically, like this one here. You cannot make a conventional square with this one, aside from going like this, perhaps. Although I don't feel like they'll like going over the line, going over other pins. We can try out later if we have to, but this is likely going to need something like that. And then for similar reasons, I'm glad they give you multiple colors. This one here. Actually, that might be a better starting, is this spot. Because doing something like that, I think, will be necessary. And for this one, okay, so first observation, this bottom row here has three pegs, so either one or all three have to use diagonal boards. If this one doesn't use a diagonal like that, then this pin obviously can't make a square at all because there's nothing below it really. Unless you do something like that, which I cannot like that. Which I both don't think this will be allowed, and I don't think it'll work even if it was allowed. In this case, what would you do for this pin here? You'd have to do something like that. And that doesn't work, okay. So confirm this one does have to use diagonals. It's either going to be like that, or... No, this like that doesn't work because there's nothing there, so... That is forced. Yeah, the only next question is, do these two connect up? Because, I mean, if so, like that... Next question would be, do these two connect up? If so, like that. Then this pin is not going to be able to connect. Because to be a square, you need to have like need to connect to another pin below it, unless you're at the bottom of a diagonal. So that means these are all involved in a diagonal, I believe. So like, where does this one connect up to first? It can't connect up to there. It could connect up to that, although I feel like that's gonna strand the spin. Could be something like that, and then... You know what? Obviously, I don't know how helpful it's gonna be. Let's use some hint coins. Most of the squares you see will be tilted at 45 degrees to the side, 45 degrees. And your sizes will vary as well. Start by looking for pins you can connect to create squares at a diagonal. Alright, let's just fill the board with like that and see where we go. Let's go, we got plenty of hint coins, let's go for another one. Okay, you want more specifics? Alright, here's the location of one of the squares. Connect the 4 pins in the top left corner to form a tiny square. Just know this isn't the only square on the board that isn't tilted. So we have this for sure. You know what, let's just go all the way at this point with our hints. The largest square contains the pin that's the third from the top in the left column, and the bottom pin from the far right column. Like that. There's no way that's right. Third from the top on the left column, and the bottom pin from the far right column. Oh, maybe it's not as, this is like the diagonal, not as 2 legs of the square. I mean, obviously not like that, but something like that. Yeah, okay. Okay, it has to be like that. That helps. You also need to form a small diagonal block using the 2 pins lined up diagonally on the bottom left portion of the board. There are 2 more small squares just like this one on the board. So like that, and there's 2 more of those. Well, looking at it, one of them has to be this one, I think, right? And then from there, how's this one gonna connect up? Like that, and then like this. Okay. I should have just, like, went for the hints earlier, I feel like, but
How does this sound?
we did make it in the end, after a long time.
Professor, I've solved it!
It was not pretty fun, I will say. Now we're free to keep climbing. Yeah, it's very odd how this tower is simply huge, and yet there's almost nothing inside of it. Yes, quite. Other than Bruno's room in the basement, this whole place is rather bare. Perhaps that is why Bruno's machines make such a racket. This tower is like a giant megaphone. But why would anyone construct such a big, purposeless tower, Professor? It's exhausting to climb this thing. Did you ever consider this tower might have built for the express purpose of exhausting us? This is just another one of the many trials that have been set out for the seekers of the Golden Apple. Gosh, that makes perfect sense. Maybe that's also why the tower looks so scary on the outside. Alright, and we should have Dog Stink, that's the name, we gotta remember that. Didn't we solve one of the mysteries here? Maybe. They're not going to mark it off. Yeah, it's Lady Dahlia. It's revealed that Lady Dahlia is a robot originally constructed to resemble and behave like the Baron's late wife in every way imaginable. The Baron commissioned the construction of Lady Dahlia as a way to comfort his daughter. Unfortunately, it had the opposite effect. And we will go ahead and save our progress here. And then call it an episode. As always, thank you for watching.